We come to you now from a very remote location. Our location we will not discuss because we don't want you to be able to find us because we're way too excited about this marriage, son.
Woo!
Boom, boom, boom. Bah, 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 bah. Finger guns into the air. Why are you laughing at my finger guns?
Because you just looked weird.
That's what I do.
I've never seen you do that before.
I do finger guns all the time.
Really?
I go.
Are you just doing that now because you want to do that southern accent?
No, I do finger guns all the time. I'm always doing the finger guns. All the time. Not like that. That's disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
Don't do that to me. Don't put your fingers in my face. Well, we come to you. How long have we been married? 22, 24 days?
24 days.
24 days later.
24 days.
Almost a month. Taz, how do you feel about this marriage?
Regretting. No, I'm kidding. I love it so much.
Is it nice?
It is nice. It's kind of nice having my own, kind of independence. Where I'm I'm not like, hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Can I go here? I'm just like, you know what? I feel like going here today, so I'm going to go do it.
Nice.
So it's kind of nice. Yeah.
That's fun.
But usually when I want to go somewhere, it's shopping for groceries or, wifey stuff.
Wifey stuff. You don't only do wifey stuff, though. We don't want it to seem like you only do wifey stuff.
I go out in service.
Make something up to us.
I mean, I play video games all day, every day.
Do you really?
No.
Well, our house is clean now. It was really dirty for a second there.
Yeah,
so you were slacking.
started to get
You were slacking.
I was not slacking.
You were slacking. I'm joking. I helped. What? Don't wait, make that noise. What's that noise mean? I mean, you want to say something, but you're afraid everyone will hear you.
No.
What is it?
I want everybody to know I made him breakfast the other day, and I cleaned the house today, and I'm just a busy woman.
You are just a busy woman. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You are a strong, independent black woman.
White.
White.
Sour cream.
And married. Not independent. So everything,
everything about that
opposite
is
of
wrong.
an independent black woman. Okay, that makes sense. That's good. We'll remember that.
Slightly independent white woman.
I think my experience with these first 24 days are getting used to not being by myself. Because at first when you're by yourself, you're like, oh, it's so lonely. And then you get used to it. Like, I always have the TV on before. Because I was by myself and there was no one to talk to or listen to me talk. And so right now I'm trying to get out of that habit of coming home and putting the TV on while I think to myself. Never clean, of course. Why would I ever do it? I'm joking. I used to clean because I like to clean house.
Except for the dishes.
Except for the dishes. But everything else was clean because I don't like dirty. I don't like my house dirty.
We just were slacking because we were so busy.
Taz was slacking.
I was not
You were slacking. Admit it.
What were you doing?
I cleaned the living room.
No, you didn't.
Taz, you washed all the laundry but didn't put it up. So who was doing the laundry? Whose job?
It's mostly your clothes.
Whose job is it to do the laundry?
It's mostly your clothes, though.
No, it wasn't. How is that? How is it mostly my clothes? Do you wear most of the same clothes? How is it mostly my clothes? Prove it.
I only have 2 jeans.
That's not my fault. I have 3 pairs of pants that I wear on a regular basis because they're work attire. They're work attire. They're work comfortable. Their work will allow me to wear them.
Okay, so after this podcast, why don't you go take a look?
Take a look. How's there a way to take a look?
It's still in the basket.
How do I have more dirty clothes than you, Taz? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
We both wash clothes that wear clothes at the same rate. I don't wear multiple clothes.
You do.
Nah, I don't believe that. And you wear some of my clothes. I can't wear your clothes.
I only wore your shirt one time.
How do we know that's the only time? There's no proof that was the only time you wore my shirt.
By the way, guys, a dirty secret. While he's at work, I dress up in his clothes.
See? And that's why there's more dirty clothes than mine.
No,
boom,
I really
case
don't.
rested. Justice crash.
Justice crash.
We binged our first anime.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
One Punch Man is quite hilarious.
Where's that guy with the fat chin?
The kid with the fat chin. It was good. So I suggest anyone that likes comedy animes, it's very funny.
I don't like anime, and I thought it was hilarious.
It's funny, yeah. I thought it was funny.
Just
So
like your face.
now that we've been married for almost a month, do you have any grievances that you'd like to air?
What do you mean?
Is there anything that you would like me to change about myself?
Your whole life.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
Actually, no, not really.
Nothing?
No,
we
not really.
just talked about this, Taz, before the podcast.
There was really nothing I want you to change.
Oh, sweet. I'm perfect. You heard that here, ladies.
Well,
yeah, see? So when I say perfect, all of a sudden it's green.
Now all this stuff is coming back.
Yeah, because you're like, whoa. You don't want me thinking I'm perfect. You don't want me to get a big head, even though I already have a big head.
You have a pretty big head.
Yeah, exactly.
I think picking up after yourself.
Okay, I should pick up more for myself. You're right.
And soaking the dishes after you cook.
Outside soaking the dishes.
Because trying to scrub off that piled on gunk on the pans that you leave on there, the fried on gunk. Yeah, no, that's the worst. That's how I broke that bowl.
Why?
Because you left food in there for like 3 days and it was like dried onto it.
Is it my fault that the food was in there for 3 days? I'm
Yes.
joking.
Because I didn't live here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
And you're like, Taz, my dishes haven't done like 3 days. And I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you make me sound like a monster. I'm not
He
a
is a
monster.
monster.
I'm not a monster.
He cooks my dinner though, so.
I cook her everything.
Except for breakfast.
Yeah, but I don't make breakfast.
Neither do I. But I did that one day and it was pretty good.
I made fried rice the other day. It was bomb.
It was actually pretty
I was
good,
like, my friends were like, "Oh, I want Chinese," but we had no money, so I was like,
He's like, fried rice.
I'm like, "Oh, I made some rice," and I'm like, you know what? Pan, cracked an egg in there. We didn't have vegetables, so it wasn't like Chinese status, and we need to buy some Asian seasoning. But other than that, it was top notch quality stuff.
It was super good. He's like, taste it. I was like, okay. So
Yeah.
I tasted it and it was like explosion of
Flavor and delicious.
flavor in my mouth.
I'll get better at it. Right now, I'm still learning all the techniques and skills. But I mean, that's generally my. Taz is like afraid to cook stuff.
No, I'm only afraid to cook meats. Because like I was telling...
But you're afraid to try new stuff too.
That's
like whenever
true.
I'm like, oh, do you want to try this? No.
No.
Like you're just like,
so good.
Well, that's exactly the noise you make.
No.
Yeah, exactly. See?
It's like that Tina noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't want to try it, and I'm like, you just gotta like literally. That's how I learned to make everything. My mom taught me how to make eggs and how to make chicken, so I learned the basics of heat. And I told you just gotta make. She's like afraid that she's gonna mess up.
No, I'm afraid.
It's what you said.
Okay, yeah, I am afraid to mess up, but I'm also afraid mostly to cook meats because meats, if you don't cook them right, they can hurt you. So, yeah.
But why? I mean,
I don't even like.
Like you won't even prepare it. Like I mean, like I'm like, oh, just put it in the pot and put it on 350. Those are the instructions. The instructions to cook chicken in the way we do it is the broiler or even in the tray. You put
True.
the oven on 375. You put it in the oven for about an hour to a half, depending on how unthawed the chicken is. And every time
like a cookbook.
Well, I'm saying every time it comes to that moment, you're like, I don't want to. Yeah, you're just like.
Oh hush.
Anyway, and partially like I don't know, like I prepare meals like when my mom used to cook, I was always like, oh, it's got to be three. You got to have three separate things, like your potatoes and vegetables or whatever.
I know how to cook everything potatoes, by the way.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Potatoes are easy. So why haven't you graduated to like? I mean,
potatoes are easy.
Even like warming stuff up, like there's just like warming stuff up is easy. Like put in a pot, put some water, put a cap on it, put a lid on it.
What do you mean,
like the frozen vegetables and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
You just don't want to do it. Just admit it.
I don't.
She does not want to do it, but I keep
it's
trying.
It's like Armani with dishes.
Well, you keep saying, I keep trying to convince you. You keep going, yeah, I do want to learn to cook. Oh, I do want to cook. I just don't know how. So I tell you how, and you just like you just crack under the thought of it. Not even pressure. There's not even pressure. Not even like the moment, like turn on the where would the pressure be? She'd like going to turn on the oven, and she'd be like dun 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 dun. Ah! Turn it to 600, and then we all explode. Is that what happens, Taz?
Yes.
No, it's not what happens. If you turn it all the way 600, Taz, just hear you screaming, Taz, what are you doing? I'm putting it Oven on 600. I'm like, stop. You don't need to do this. Just turn it down.
You see me with the bat
You're trying to smash in the oven. What are you doing? I turned it on 600 and I didn't know what to do. Smash. The Taz, that's clearly not what we're supposed to do here. You act like that's going to happen. You think that'll happen?
No. First,
we have no bats in here. Well, I'm going to keep all, so I'm going to be like, I'm going to be ready to cook, and I'm going to have like a suit of armor, and I'm like, okay, Taz, turn the oven on. She starts punching things. I'm like, stop it! It's not that hard! Preheat the oven! You've done that for cookies. Pretend like they're cookies! But I know they're not cookies, and then she'll keep punching and screaming, and I'm like, stop it!
My arm starts to fry as I cook.
Like, just turn it on.
It hurts.
You'll be able, don't worry. Try it. Hopefully, my goal for next podcast, we're going to make teriyaki. I'm making teriyaki chicken.
Okay.
And I hope for Taz to, I've made so much chicken. And she goes, oh, I like chicken when you cook it. But I think you can cook the chicken the way I cook it. All you have to do is learn to season. Like, seasoning comes from the heart. Like, cooking chicken, cooking anything is easy. You know how to make pasta, right?
Yeah.
How do you make pasta?
You boil the pasta?
Yes. And then what do?
And then you put the sauce on it?
You put the sauce on it. You can warm up the sauce is what is suggested. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like,
I wasn't asking.
If she would have made that for me, I'd just been like, this is so good, Taz. No, because you can't have cold pasta. You have warm noodles and cold pasta. That is a thing. Okay? You know that, right?
It's a poor people thing.
I know. High five. Be proud of what you make.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you make
cold pasta,
as long as you go for it, as long as you have good flavor, you can do whatever you want.
Go to the Anderson house for cold pasta.
You put salt. You put, not cold pasta, like cold sauce. Because if you put cold pasta, no one's going to be like, oh, God. This is disgusting. This is not good pasta, Taz. And you do not pass go. You do not collect $200. You go directly to jail.
Directly to
wife jail.
Wait, have a get out of free card. No.
That pasta was that bad.
You get no get out of free.
No out of jail free. So I think Taz will learn to cook. We're gonna get her
eventually. But we've only been married for a month, so for a month I've been doing pretty good. I made you breakfast.
Yeah, you
right?
did. Yeah, you did.
So I was like, oh.
She made me. Let's tell them what that breakfast was, though.
It was toast and eggs and like this microwavable sandwich.
But
that's all we had, though.
That's true. We gotta get oatmeal. Oh, I love oatmeal. I should have some more oatmeal. Oh my, that oatmeal was so good. And it lasts a long time. You don't like oatmeal, do you?
I like oatmeal. I like the cinnamon oatmeal.
No, but I mean just like the oats, the regular oats.
Yeah, I don't mind them.
Okay, we're gonna get some of that.
I didn't like them as a kid, but as I grew older, I was like, oh, it's actually pretty good.
I'm gonna get some. Yeah, you put some butter in it, put some sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to make a pot of oatmeal for everyone?
No. I'm a
She's like, no. Come on, Tess. I'll teach you. It's very easy.
Save me.
It's very easy. You can do it.
I don't like to share.
She didn't. For the longest time, she'd always just be making herself stuff.
It's true.
Like she'd warm up water for hot chocolate, and I'd be like, Taz, did you warm up a pot of water? No, I just put it in the microwave. Oh, so you just made yourself hot water? Yes. And she'd have no remorse about it. She'd be like, and like moonwalk away with her own hot chocolate. I'm like, come on, Taz.
I learned.
Did you learn?
No. Because I got that coffee pot that has you can only make 1 cup at a time. So.
You still could boil water like a normal human. Say it so you know what she likes to say. No. Everything I tell her, she goes, no.
You make me sound like a terrible human being.
I know, that's the point of this.
Hey.
We want to prove to everyone beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are a terrible person.
I'm the sweetest little angel.
Oh. She just hit me. She literally just hit me in the face. This is a podcast. You hear the muffled noises of my screams? That's what I have to go through. I know there's stuff that I do that's annoying. Like sometimes I just randomly want to scream. So I do.
Oh my God.
I don't know why she hates it so much.
Like we were watching Snapchat on the couch and he goes out of nowhere.
It's usually louder than that. I don't want
to
mess up the podcast mic.
Ever. And then I try to cover him up, but he's like, no.
It's because he ruins it. Like I'm trying to scream and relieve this fire that's inside of me. And she's just like, no, Tess, let me scream.
No.
Let the monster out.
No.
The boat. Let the monster out.
And about.
I'm just saying. I think I should be allowed to scream. I don't think that hurts anyone.
Then I shouldn't cook.
That does hurt me. I starve. I starve, Taz. You want me to starve? You want me to die and starve. So that's what you want. You want our children to starve. You want our children to starve. Oh my goodness.
I'll make them sandwiches.
You heard it here first. She wants our children to starve.
Now, when you could cook, I'd be like, Daddy could cook. Go ask him for food.
No. They'd be like,
I was like, do you want macaroni or ramen noodles?
I like it better when you cook. And you're like, starve, kid.
Starve. Do you want a sandwich or cold pasta?
I'm telling you, don't worry. I'll teach you how to season. It's all, you gotta feel it. You just gotta, the teriyaki chicken, I'm gonna make you season.
Okay.
You just gotta feel it. Like, this one guy was talking about, you do this with love. Why can't you cook with love? I was like, I cook with love, sir. I feel it. Like, I don't measure the sugar that I put in, like, cakes. I don't measure how much salt I put. I don't measure. Like, if I'm reading a recipe, all I do is get the basics. Like, I read, this marinade they were making for steak. Oh my God, steak day, guys, is only a month away. Okay.
Oh yeah, we have steak day.
2.5 months. What's the day?
I don't think they know.
Steak day. It's just the 5th. It's January 5th. Steak day is on February 28th, or the last Friday. Let me check, actually, when the last Friday is so I can let you guys know. I usually say the 28th or the Friday, just in case it's not on the weekend. You don't have to go out and have, like, a big thing on, like a Wednesday.
It'd be an awesome thing to do, though. But, like, you know what?
Oh, the 29th? Oh, the 28th. Guess when it is? Oh, it's on a Sunday.
Oh, heck yes.
Steak day! And it's leap year.
Oh, awesome.
Sweet. Steak day! Steak day! Steak day! Woo! I love steak day. So this is what steak day is. Rarely, I like steak, and I cook steak a very delicate. If you give me a grill and a steak, I will make a masterpiece. You can give me limited resources, and I'll make something delicious out of it.
I made a coffee steak one time.
Yes.
It was interesting.
It wasn't a coffee steak. You didn't describe it right.
It was like coffee grounds with, I don't know, he made this.
No, that was on the chicken. That
was that was chicken.
I made honey coffee chicken.
It was kind of...
It was good. Jen liked it and I liked it.
Jen
you don't like
it.
chicken, so
yeah.
anything that deviates from normal chicken, she's like, what is this?
This disgusting
This is
thing.
disgusting. Jen liked it and I liked it. I thought I could have made the, I put a little... The mix or the glaze that I put on there was a little too much honey and not enough water, so it didn't spread very evenly. Anyway, that's just stats for next time. But that's how I learned, or that's how I cook stuff. I looked up a recipe last year for steak day. I was trying to look up people's best recipes, and there was a lot of stuff with Worcestershire sauce, but I didn't want to put Worcestershire sauce on this one. This year.
Wait, how do you say it?
Worcestershire. How do you say it?
I don't know.
Worcestershire sauce. No, it's Worcestershire.
I don't know. Just so funny when you say
Try it. What word do you think I'm trying to say?
I don't know. I don't know this sauce.
I want to hear you try to say it.
I'm not gonna try to say it.
Yeah.
No.
Say it. Do it for fun.
Worcestershire
sauce. Worcestershire sauce. Okay, anyway. Worcestershire sauce. This year I think I am going to try to put some of that on there. But usually, called for like a good amount of time. So I marinated it and I let it sit in the marinade for about 3-4 hours before I cooked it. This year I'm going to look up to see what's the max amount of time people suggest that you let your steak marinate, and I'm going to do that amount of time. I'm going to be prepared. Last year was the first official steak day. So we kind of just were like, I was like, you know what? Next, I told Taz's mom, I was like, next paycheck, steak day.
Steak day.
It's steak day.
And it became a thing between my family.
It just started. It's not even a thing yet because there hasn't been a big.
But my mom already agreed to.
So now, your mom's down for steak day. We are down for steak day. I am so down for steak day. Like, you don't even know last year. And so the reason why, okay, you can have steak any day of the week. Yes, you can. You can go to the store and buy a steak, but you can't afford to go to the store
and get a good steak.
How about those prime cuts? Those, like, spending $25 on just a steak for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you go to a restaurant and do that. That's nice, but you get those little ones. But if you go to Stater Brothers and you get one of those big ones, big juicy ones, spend a good hunk of money for yourself. Taz doesn't like steak, so luckily for my family, steak day will be me getting some steak and Taz probably some
sides.
You don't want chicken?
I I mean,
she doesn't like. Like I said, she doesn't need meat, so whatever she wants.
Whatever, yeah.
Last year was just our family, so we're gonna invite more people to steak day, and they better let me know because I'm gonna tell them the rules. The rules of steak day: gotta bring your own steak.
I made the sides though.
I'll grill it for everyone.
I make this creamy rice.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's good, and I think Amy. I hope Amy makes those asparagus because she cooks.
She cooks.
She kills the asparagus. So roasted asparagus.
And then I cooked some mashed potatoes. That was just the creamiest mashed potatoes in the world.
So hopefully we're gonna expand it and get more people. Last year was just our family was kind of just like a day we decided to do steak day. So then I was like, steak day, steak day, steak day, and people were like, why don't you have steak again? I was like, I've had steak. I have steak every. I generally have a steak. Every 2-3 months, I'll go to the store. I'm like, I want a steak, and I'll get a steak. But I just got a grill, so that's awesome. But anyway.
We haven't even used it yet.
I know, because it's been raining.
No, we just don't have propane for it.
Also, it's been raining.
That's true.
So.
It just started today. What are you talking about?
But I mean, it's been cloudy. No one wants to grill when it's cloudy outside.
True.
Except for Trent, maybe. But, so steak day is just this glorious day of steak enjoyment and fun and happy. And why? You may ask why. Why it was like, you know what, steak day is February 28th. Because every year, as it approaches, I forget how excited and how much I love Black History Month, which is February. This will be Taz's first, we'll be married and she'll get to experience the full force of it. I'm so excited. That's all I ever talk about, Black History Month. For that whole month. Because for that whole month, I'm allowed to talk about Black history without being like, no. And you know what I dislike when people say, I'll be like,
where's my White History Month?
I'll be like, every month is White History Month.
Yep.
It really is, though. Like, they act like
I know.
it's not.
That always makes me mad when they say it, too. Where's my White History Month? If you get a Black History Month. I was like, what?
Yeah,
really?
Really? You got all the other months. All the months are yours. They teach history. History is just called White History. They should call it.
Seriously. I was like, were you a slave? Nah.
There was no struggle.
No, not at all. We were just born and we got money and we died and that's it.
Yeah, there's just that is the nature of history.
Yep.
So I'm fine with that. I'm not complaining every other month. Oh, there should be more Black History Month. Yes, you can learn about Black history all the time. It's not my fault that there was a month dedicated to learning about Black history. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So I should be allowed to be excited about Black history, the history of Black people. It's great. And like I said, I learned so much last year, and I
learned so much too.
Yeah,
because last year I was dating this dude, so
I was always talking about it. Yeah. So this year I'm excited to see what else I can learn because I learned so much.
Yes.
And so I'm excited to see what I can learn. And what I do is I usually do a person in Black history. Well, not necessarily Black history. I do a prominent Black figure on every day of the month.
Okay.
So this day we're gonna get.
I remember that your Snapchat stories.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make sure to put on my Snapchat. So follow my Snapchat. And I just. It's just something about it that makes me so happy. And I always forget, too. And, that's why I'm excited that I remember. Because that's why I put Steak Day. Because it was the culmination of all my happiness. Just I was just like,
in steak.
And I was like, you know what? Steak Day! Went Super Saiyan with Steak Day. After being so happy.
Yep.
Tash just dug so far in her hair, she poked her brain. I saw her face go...
My ear itches. You ever get that feeling where your ear, just the deep inner ear itches?
Yeah.
Hey, nobody gonna see what's going on.
I just wanted, you made a face, so that's what I was like, whoa, how deep is she in her ear? She was just
up to here.
She was just all up in there, and then she goes, oh, you can't see the face I'm making, but imagine
it was like a satisfaction face.
Imagine
it was like, oh, it felt
like
so
a
good.
twitch.
I got that itch.
She got the switch. She was just like, oh.
No, it wasn't a switch. It was an itch.
No, but I mean the lights turned on in your brain. You're just like, oh.
Yes, it was satisfaction.
Satisfaction. Oh, I've also been listening to Hamilton over and over again. And that's one of the things I think is weird for me right now. I'm used to doing whatever I want. So
he'll play Hamilton. I'm just like, oh,
Hamilton is
goodness.
it's a stage play rap musical that has they put the I guess the cast album of the play out. And there's a lot of stuff on Broadway that I can't. I like musicals, but
and he's been playing it on repeat for the past 5 days.
I've only listened to it 4 times, okay? I've stopped because it's really long, so I stopped.
And then he puts his phone on shuffle today, and Hamilton comes on.
And I was like, yes!
Oh my goodness.
I'm satisfied. Like, anyway.
To the bride.
To the bride. To the bride. To my
Okay.
sister.
Okay.
Never be satisfied. Okay, whatever. Lin-Manuel Miranda is amazing. But okay, so I told Taz, I was like, who wrote Hamilton? Who wrote Hamilton, Taz?
You just said it.
Exactly, I want to see if you still.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Good job.
Why does he have a girl last name? Question.
Because it's his last name, you can't control your last name. Why do you have a boy last name?
Because I'm married to you.
Oh, forgot your last name changed. Dang it. My argument was invalid. Your name changed. Oh my. That's so embarrassing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That legit just happened. I was like, oh, Tasman Austin. Why are you making fun of someone's last name, Tasman Austin? I was like, she's like, because I married her. And I was like, oh, crap. Dang it. Okay. Never mind.
Moving on.
I didn't know. But so the day after I said that, I kept asking. I was like, Taz, who wrote Hamilton? And she goes, like she'd freak out.
I said Lynn Maxwell for the longest time.
She kept saying Lynn. She kept forgetting the middle part of his first name. Or the last part of his first name. She's just like, Lynn something Miranda.
And then I ended up saying Lynn Maxwell Miranda.
And so then But like I said, I'm used to doing whatever I want. So like, I would have listened to that. I would have kept listening to that. But then I kept having to go, oh dang, I don't want to subject Taz to listen to this for X amount of hours. Because it's long and it's awesome.
It's very long.
It's awesome. I love it anyway. So that's one of the things too I have to learn to do. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like used to doing by myself that I'm like, oh, I can just play this through the house. Why not? But Taz, you used to like living with people. That's the thing. Like, even when I was young, like we lived together, but we all had our own space, and we would do whatever I could do whatever I want in my space. So
I definitely had my own space, and the only time I could clean was when everybody was gone. So that's the only thing I can only do when you're gone.
Clean.
It's clean. Otherwise, if you're here, I'm just like, oh, he has TV on, or oh, he's doing this right now, and I'm distracted.
Well, I clean with the TV on. I forgot.
I don't
Taz
clean.
Taz is distracted whenever stuff is happening.
I'm like, wow, what's going on the TV?
Yeah.
When there's music on, I can like sing and like dance a little bit while I'm cleaning instead of like running back to the TV and seeing what happened. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I go back and I like clean a dish and I go back to the TV and I'm like, what happened? I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just an easily distracted person.
That makes sense. I mean, like, yeah, that makes sense. So, like I said, there's stuff like that I'm trying to figure out, and I'm used to like thinking things out. So Taz will look at me and be like, "What are you thinking about?" I'm like, "Oh,
yeah, I have a wife."
I have a wife. Yes, I have a wife. But I mean, like, we finally like before we were trying to be on each other's sleep schedule.
Oh yeah,
for the past I stopped this week, so that's actually been very helpful. I've been sleeping really very well this past week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I haven't been going to sleep when she goes to sleep. And when
I go to sleep at like 9:00.
Yeah, after like 9:30, she's like, "I'm so tired.
I'm gonna go to bed.
I'm so tired."
I'm such an old lady.
Why are you such an old lady?
I don't know. And then I'll sleep till like 11:00 in the afternoon the next day, but I can't do that, so I try not to.
Yeah, so I've stopped for the past week. Since Monday. I guess it's Tuesday. I think Sunday I didn't go to sleep with you either, right?
No, you're just like, I'm going to go watch TV, and I was like, okay, bye, and I just passed out.
It was last Saturday, too, or was it Saturday and Sunday, or no, just Saturday?
It was, I don't remember.
I think it was Saturday.
I was asleep.
I don't know. All I know is I was like, I'm going to get up and watch TV because I can't wait for Taz to... I can't go to sleep with Taz because if I go to bed before I'm tired, then I lay there and then it just prolongs the amount of time I'm in the bed, and then my back starts to hurt. And just
There is one thing I learned about you that was kind of crazy, is that when we were going to sleep on the same time, was that you fall asleep in like 2 seconds. Like, I'll be like, oh, good night, and I'll turn over, and like it'll be like a moment of silence, and you won't be moving at all, and then you hear... I'm like, wow, that was so quick. How did he do that, right? And then I move you, and then you'll stop snoring, and then I see, like, you'll wake up a little bit, and then you'll just pass out again. And you'll start snoring.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
And you're like, ugh.
I didn't realize I started snoring so quickly. Moment, are you sure that you didn't fall asleep?
No, because I'm sometimes, like, I'll be on my phone or something. Or
I read this thing that if you fall asleep under 5 minutes, it means you're exhausted.
But you do it all the time, so
you fall asleep. I think you fall asleep so fast that you wake up when I start to snore.
No, I don't.
I think that's it.
I promise you.
I think that's it because I know I would hear myself snoring.
You don't. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah, because I noticed that
I told you snored when we started dating. And you're like, no, I don't.
Yeah, because I had never heard myself snore.
Because you haven't woken up to it.
Because I wake up and I'm not snoring when I wake up. So how does that work? Explain that to me, officer.
I don't know. But this is why we sleep with the humidifier on. Because we went to bed at the same schedule, and he would fall asleep in immediately 2 seconds. And I would be up for like about 15 minutes.
Yeah, see, you're the one that's trying to, you're so tired. Why are you up for 15 more minutes?
I'm not going to go lay on the bed and go, like you. You're so weird.
That's what I understand. You act like you are. You're like, oh, I'm so tired. Babe, I need to go to bed. Babe, I need to go to bed. Like, you act like you're so tired. You act like you're going to drop dead.
I do.
If you stay up. And then you sit in bed for like 30 minutes and just...
15. Calm yourself.
That may be longer.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, I think so, because I'll be on DJ Khaled for like 15 minutes. I'd be doing Snapchat stuff for like 30 minutes.
I never told you I was going to go to bed. You just were laying in bed, so I joined you, so...
No. Why did we get in the bed in the first place?
I don't know.
Because you said you were going to go to sleep! Oh my goodness, Tess. There's also something. I saw this thing, it's like... I forgot what it said. Never mind. But basically, basically, it made a joke that women are not logical.
What? That's horrible.
Why is it horrible? It's true.
It's probably true.
It's like first year of marriage jokes or something like that.
First year of marriage.
You know you don't use very much logic in anything.
I don't.
So it's okay. It's fine. I'm fine with that. I don't use very much emotion in things. But
we tell the public.
We've balanced each other out.
Apparently, you're so smart. Armani is just so smart.
Why are you saying that sarcastically?
Because it's true. You do think you're really smart.
Yeah, I am, but you're saying it sarcastically as if
you
don't believe me.
I don't.
Why?
Because you use a lot of emotion, too. You know that?
I know I use emotion. You're supposed to use emotion. I get emotional about stuff.
Then how is this balancing me out?
I don't use emotion to guide me.
Oh, okay.
Whenever Tess says something cute, she goes, oh my god, it's so cute! It's so cute! Oh my god, it's so cute! Like
my voice gets higher when something's
cute. Her voice gets higher, and her hands raised towards her face, and she does like that picture you can see. She puts her hands over her mouth. She's like, it's so cute! Oh my god, it's so cute! Yeah. And so I didn't realize how much she like looks at pictures of cats, and she's always like, babe, look how cute this is.
I'm trying to get him to get me a cat.
Okay, guys, every time you show me,
I'm not even lying to you now. I'm going to be completely open with you. Every time I show you a picture of a cat, I want you to fall in love with it so you can get me a cat.
My dad already told you. See, I knew I was mean to animals, but I didn't know my dad. My dad confirmed the story. Like, I'm not mean to like, oh, I'm gonna set a cat on fire. But whenever I see a cat, I'm always like, I make animal noises towards it.
The only animal that really cares is my cat.
That's the only animal I'm around. What other animals around?
The black cat in your front yard.
That thing does not. I hate that thing.
It comes around here all the time.
Exactly, and I scare it away every time.
Yes, but it comes back.
Because we live in a small apartment.
True.
So, I mean, it can't go too far. It lives next door.
That's true.
And I make Jeff's dog. She's dumb though.
Yeah, she is.
She's so dumb. So I always make noise at her, and she's just like.
She's so cute though.
Yeah, she is. Chloe's so adorable. She's so old too. She'll just come in and like lay down.
She'll be like, I'm tired from walking a few inches. I'm just gonna go to sleep. And she'll like sleep.
Yeah, she's pretty too. She's like.
She's a little fatty. Too.
Yeah, she is. She's a little fatty. You're a little fat girl, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, you are. Say it.
No.
Say it.
No.
Say you're a little fat
I'm not
girl.
gonna say it.
Tasman.
I'm a giant fat girl.
Aww.
Aww.
She's a giant fat girl.
Aww.
But, so what have you...
Cute.
It's so cute. So we got all our, we were, did we already talk about this?
I don't know.
About all the gifts we got?
I don't remember. We didn't do the podcast this week.
We did do a podcast about, we got a lot of stuff.
Oh, we did, and we were talking about how our house looked like a tornado
of gifts.
Of gifts.
Yeah. So we're finally cleared out a lot of that stuff, and there's some stuff that we got that was like from our grandparents. It's just like in baskets, so we're able to utilize the basket. So everything in our house is actually very organized now.
Wifey,
which I really like. Yeah, and someone at work was telling me today, because I always listen to marriage advice from people. And she was telling me, people always say how hard marriage is. Don't listen to them. She said it's hard, but she's like, people always talking about how bad marriage is, how horrible it is. Don't listen to them. Marriage is fun. And I was like, oh, thank you. I always remember, marriage is fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to grow. I'm supposed to grow with Tasman. So when I change and become a monster, she'll know. Tandy. You guys meet Tandy our lion. Follow me on Snapchat and you'll.
Yeah.
Tandy our lion.
Tandy our lion every morning.
Tandy.
Lion.
Oh my goodness, that was the funniest thing that I've ever experienced in my life. Tasman, we had just gotten back anyway, and we watched followed DJ Khaled, so it was funny. So we started saying lion, and I have a poster of a lion, which I had before I was following DJ Khaled.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had it for a long time, almost
since
2
we
years.
First started dating.
Yeah, we went to the mall one time. Mm-hmm. It was right after I got a job, so it's been like 2 years.
Yeah, you were on a money spree.
I was like,
you're like, I want this poster.
It was my first check, and it was like $15. So I was like, dude, I want some art because I'm gonna be able to, put stuff around my room once my mom leaves.
That's true, and he did. And so now we have this lion hanging up in front of our bed. Mm-hmm. And every morning we'll look at it, or at night we'll look at it and we'll go, lion,
lion. And so I was like, lion. And I was talking to the Snapchat, and Taz goes, lion. I don't know why.
Like my voice, went high and low and cracked.
She's like, lion. And I was like, Tandy the lion. She goes, Tandy. Like she was just not ready to talk to anyone, but she was trying.
It was like, I don't know how late. Was it late or no?
Yeah, it probably was.
It was probably late. We just got back, so
because she goes to sleep. She goes to sleep early, so past 10 o'clock, Taz gets all delirious and starts laughing and stuff. And I'm like, I don't get delirious till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I mean, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm just psychotic. So
yeah, I don't know why you're. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to comment about it because it's just. You say crazy stuff.
I do say crazy stuff all the time.
But I mean, it's the later it gets, it's it's only 10 o'clock. Why are you laughing so much? People can vouch. So when you stay up late, everything is funny. You're like, oh, the later you stay up, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, everything is funny.
I'm an old lady. We've been over this.
But 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, Taz just can't stop laughing at anything.
Yesterday, I was having trouble with my shirt. It was on backwards.
Oh, gosh. I wish I would have got that on Snapchat. I was like, Taz, your shirt's on backwards. She goes, you're right, it is on backwards. And then
I was like, no, and I turned around,
and then she checked, and it was. And then she tried to turn it. Oh, it took her a minute, 2 minutes.
My arm was stuck, and I was like, oh no.
A minute and a half just struggling to twist her shirt around. I was like, oh my god, if I only have my Snapchat.
Laughing so hard.
She couldn't turn her shirt around, and then I was like, okay. And then we were like, oh, you want to watch something before you go to sleep? We're watching the Scorch Trials.
Yeah.
And so then she goes to turn on the TV, and she's like, pressing the button. She kept pressing. I was like, okay, Tasman versus TV. TV wins, Taz. Give up. And she goes, no! And then tries again and still fails somehow.
And I stood up, and I pointed the remote directly at the TV, and it finally turned on, so.
I was like, how?
1 point Tasman.
1 point TV. TV should have 0 points to ask against you. The TV should never beat you.
It was pretty funny, though.
It was pretty funny. Oh, yeah, but it was nice. We had our first lazy day together.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we spent all day together. So it was pretty nice.
Yeah, it really was.
I was talking, the lady at work was talking about, we're going to get to the point where we don't need to, entertain each other. Or we don't feel like we need to entertain each other. So we kind of both do our thing. Or, we'll say, oh, let's do this together. Okay, yeah. But I don't feel the need to be like, okay, Taz, what do you want to do?
Good, because I don't like that question. Yeah. I'm just I don't know.
She never knows.
I don't know.
She just knows that she doesn't want to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, which is watching TV.
Which is watch TV, yeah. I like watching TV.
I don't like watching
I'm watching a documentary right now Making a Murder.
Yeah.
So
It's starting to make me so mad.
I'm actually going to talk about it on my Excited People podcast, which is posted on Thursday. Actually, no. It's going to be on next week's because we're trying to record a week ahead. Anyway, it's very good. And so, like I said, we actually watched TV together. I was so surprised yesterday, or Sunday, that she watched a whole day of TV with me. No, actually, we played some Civilization in the middle there.
Yeah, well,
that was fun. No, that was fun. We needed the Civ.
Yeah, we did.
You gotta take a break. You can't just watch TV, straight TV.
No, you really can't.
So we took a couple breaks. We played Civ. That was fun.
And then we needed a break from Civ, so we watched more TV.
We gotta finish that game. I'm so happy. I like mid game, end game. I'm about to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose this one.
No, you're doing really good. You're not gonna win, but you're doing good. Persian might win if nobody stops him.
I think we should all just take him over. Anyway.
Yeah, you guys don't want to hear about our personal game of Civilization 5.
I think we started on our honeymoon.
It's fun. It is fun.
So, last few nights we were like, "Want to play some Civ?" Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, and that's when I realized Taz cops out early. It's like 9:30. She's like, "I'm done." I'm like, what? We've been playing an hour.
No, not on our honeymoon. On our honeymoon, I was up.
Oh yeah, late. On your honeymoon we were up late.
And then
today.
And then today I was just like, he's like, "You want to watch more TV?" And I was like, "Nope." And
no,
I went to bed.
But it was the day we were playing Civ. You still were like, "I'm done," and you're just like. So then we cut it off, and she still was like up for so much more longer.
I think when I'm focusing on like electronics, I get more tired.
But then you look at your phone the whole time.
No, not really. I'll put my phone down.
But I mean, like after we got off the computer, you were looking at your phone.
That's true.
So I mean, it's not.
I was still tired.
It's not electronics. It's just like Taz has to be motivated to do something in like a very specific way, which is fine.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's like, yeah. So, like I said,
I'm weird, guys.
We have to learn to do our own thing, but also learn to include each other in our things that we're used to doing alone. I mean, do you think there's anything that you do alone that you're like, oh, I need to include Armani in this, or?
Not really, because like I said, I was raised around like family that was always together. So, like.
Yeah. My family was always together. My mom raised us to be very independent, so I'm very...
Yeah, I wasn't very independent.
Yeah, you're very reliant.
I'm very reliant, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel fine, actually, because I don't have to make all the decisions.
What happened the other day? What happened the other day we were talking about?
No. How's domestic life?
That was Jenna said how's domestic life, which I thought was a great joke. No, but there was something else. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. I made a joke about something, and you're like... No, because you're here. I was like, oh my goodness. I said, Taz, let me see your fighting stance. And it was just the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was like, it wasn't even like, okay, like comic book characters don't even.
It was like old school Western.
It wasn't even old school Western. It was like, what are you, 5? She was like, yeah. And she started bouncing in. She like made a mean face at me. I was like, what's the point of the mean face?
It was like
I was like, this
it was like the kind of stance you see in those like silent movies.
Yeah, I was like, I can push you over right now. You have no stance.
Mustache.
Like you have no stance, and you're bouncing. Why are you? Because you know, like you're supposed in boxing, you bounce a little bit, but you're bouncing on your toes. She was bouncing on her knees. I was like, that's not how you bend. You're not doing it right. I was like, you would have got beat out.
You learned how to fight. And I was like, I have you.
I have you. I was like, that's true. You do have me, but I just thought it was the funniest thing because she was like, man. And I was like, what? Don't ever do that again.
Like, don't ever do it again.
Don't. Like, if someone tries to fight you, if you do that, they will immediately go, she doesn't know how to fight, and you will get beat up.
And raped.
Do you think, not necessarily like a guy, but I'm saying, what if you had to fight another girl for me?
I'd be like, let's go, babe, and we'll go.
Like that lady at Jeff's proposal, I was so ready to snatch her.
Yeah, but then you ran away, and I was like, oh, well.
I wasn't running away. I was running to see if I could catch them. And then Jeff was like, no, it's not important, because Jeff is a very nice guy, very passive guy. And I was like, that's good. If he would, I was so ready. I started to take off, and Cameron called me back. My friend Jeff proposed to his girlfriend, who said yes.
By the way,
this weekend. She
said yes.
She said yes. And me and Tasman went early, and we set up this trail of rocks, and each rock had a little word on it that Jeff was going to talk about with Abigail. We set up on the trail, and so we were there for...
It was in a specific order.
Yeah, specific order, but little fake candles, so it wasn't like fire near the wildfire.
Yeah. So it
And
was
so
like
you wouldn't, and that he wouldn't miss the rocks.
Yeah.
And so then we started. We went there. We were there real early.
Yeah,
But we were just enjoying the scenes at first. And then at 2:30 they texted us when they were leaving the zoo. Was it 2:30 or like 3?
I don't remember. We were there for a very long time.
We were there for a minute. And so then we set up the trail, and then we started to tell people, oh, you'll see these rocks going down the trail.
Try not to step on.
Please don't step on them, kick them, or move them. We really appreciate my friends proposing. So he set up this little trail. Please don't move the rocks. We're taking the rocks.
And they're like, oh, how cute.
Yeah,
right?
there were so many people that were like, oh, that's so nice. And so many people that were happy about it, right?
They're like, oh, when are these things going to propose?
I'm like, oh, he's trying to come towards sunset. And so then people were really understanding about it. And then those were people that were there earlier. The closer it got to 4:30, it wasn't like, no, it wasn't like we saw the same people and these people were like, oh, you're still here? You're still here?
No, even if we did, they're like, have they come?
It was new people. I'm talking about the new people were so new.
Yeah, definitely.
There's these old people. They're just like, like
no, not even old people.
Well,
it was younger
the people who were mean to me were like old people.
No, the people who were mean to me were like younger, like parent type.
Yeah, so then this one lady, you want to tell, like some lady was just...
Some lady with like a ton of children. I don't know where she kicked him out of, but she came by, and I was like, oh, my friend's proposing in like 15 minutes, right? And she's like, oh, you said 10 minutes, now it's 15. And I was like, well, they were running late. And then she just walked right by me, and I tried to yell out, like, you're gonna see like these little rocks down the trail. Can you try not to pick them up? Yeah, whatever. And these two old people came up right after her, and I was like, oh yeah, my friend's proposing to his girlfriend. And then I started like talking to them about it, and then Abigail and Jeff walked up, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, we missed. So one of the people ran to the wrong trail. So Taz did not get her cue. She did not meet the person she was supposed to meet before she met Jeff and Abigail. So Taz was like,
she wasn't supposed to see me yet.
Yes. But so.
No, wait, no, it gets worse.
Oh my goodness.
It gets worse. I was like, oh, never mind, you guys can go, right? And they're like, oh, okay. And so they stopped in the trail, and Jeff and Abby walked by, and they're like, oh, are you guys part of this proposal too? And I was like,
oh.
So they didn't even get to like the trail yet, and Abby already knew. It was terrible. It was the worst.
It wasn't terrible. It was terrible, but not on our part. We were there for 2 hours because they also ended up being late. We were there for 2 hours.
Well, they were late because there was like a dead body found in his car.
Still, we held the fort good. I talked to myself. I reasoned with myself like, did we do something wrong? We held that fort down for 2 hours, 15 rocks spaced out along the trail.
And they weren't touched until the end of the day.
And so, the people, the little girls, the lady who flipped Taz off and started picking up, told the little kids to pick up the rocks, was right in front of Jeff and Abigail.
And so Jeff didn't even get to see most of the rocks that we set up.
But they were his, so he knew. He knew. So
yeah, but he didn't know the outline to him. So
yeah, so he didn't know what to say as he followed the little girls down the trail, picking up the rocks
and handing it to the mom who flipped me off.
Yeah, so that lady's terrible because she also stole the candles that we had, the little fake
Yeah,
candles.
we told my mom because they were my mom's.
Yeah.
And she goes, what?
No, she said, what a terrible person.
Yeah, she goes, what?
She got so, I understand those candles are not cheap and they're like little fake light candles. They're not actual candles. You turn them on, they even flicker like the Kuro candles. Yep. But I understand why she's mad. Like, I was so mad. I was ready to chase that lady down. Jeff, it was Jeff's proposal and he talked me down and I was like, okay. I was so ready to go after that lady. But he got the rock that said, he got the end of the rock at the end of the trail, says marry me.
Yeah. And he got another rock that was on like a keychain. So.
Okay, yeah. And so the little, it was even terrible because, as we telling people, oh, there's a proposal, we're trying to, let them go down. And so so there's so many people like waiting for a proposal. One of the funny stories is, though, that I was down there. So I went down there once you called me, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't know where they're at. Like, if I would have stayed up there, I would have saw those people picking up the candles, and I would have been able to stop them. And I would have been able to get them all back. But I had already went down the trail to the bottom of those steps to wait for them, because I didn't want to accidentally bump into, It
didn't take them very long to get there.
Yeah, it didn't. So then I saw them, so I ran down, and this lady is like, pulls out her phone, she starts taking a video. Oh, is it happening? And so she pulled this couple, this other couple, young couple, starts walking down the stairs, and she has like the video on them. And as they pass the Marry Me Rock and just go to the railing, she like awkwardly like puts her phone away, like she was recording the couple that was getting married. So I thought that was hilarious.
That was pretty funny. And I have to follow the story now.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who thought it was so cute, so sweet. There's this girl as they were walking and they saw the stairs and they're like, oh man, they're like, well, you said no stairs, and they're like, oh, I have to follow the story now. So they walk down. They're like, oh, I thought you. I don't think they were sore from like coming up the hill or something.
Yeah.
And I thought you said no stairs. Like, but now there's a story.
Now there's a story.
So they got down and I could hear them all like, oh, because I had put also in the little overview area. I put a bunch of the little candles and.
Yep.
A lot of the factors like now I think it was holiday. So everyone had the day off work.
He picked the worst day to propose.
It was,
to her. It
so
was New Year's.
New Year's Day. It was New Year's, so a bunch of people had the day off, and then people wanted to see the sunset, and that's when people started to get a little testy.
Yeah, they're like, I'm not gonna miss the sunset.
Public trail, anyway.
Public property, and I was like, oh, okay.
But in the end, she said yes, and it was beautiful. I got it on video.
And then she skipped down the hill, chanting that their wedding is going to be a disaster.
I don't know why she would say that.
She's like, our wedding's going to be a disaster. And I was like, oh my god.
I don't know why she thinks her wedding's going to be a disaster.
Because when he asked her to be his girlfriend, it was a disaster. The proposal was a disaster.
I don't think either of those were disasters. I thought it didn't go, because Jeff plans things very meticulously.
Well, I mean, the proposal was kind of a disaster, but
This guy, I refuse to admit that was a disaster.
He bought those rocks to talk to her, and he had an outline, he practiced outline, and then they were gone right in front of their eyes, literally. Just disappeared.
I refuse to say disaster,
okay.
Because disaster involves that something went horribly wrong.
Oh, no. Definitely.
So something went wrong. Not so horrible that she could not accept his proposal.
Oh, definitely not. She thought it was the funniest thing, though.
It was just
like,
the people.
oh.
The people there in that county, San Diego County, were just not nice. They're like...
People in San Diego County are never nice.
They're just mean, preppy people.
They're like, we have more money than you, so I live down the street.
They didn't say that, but that's how
that's how
they were treating us. Yeah, they were being terrible.
And I was like, we live in a little town.
People told us we were good friends, though. Like, oh, you're such a good friend to come and set this all up for him.
Yeah, I know. And they're like, you're such a good friend. I was like, oh.
Yeah, some people told us we were good friends, so I felt good during those times. But then, like I said, things. So you got the Marry Me Rock, but like one of the ladies. So Jeff didn't even. So she knew there was a role. She's like, okay, wait. She like asked me, and I was like, okay. And they were like looking up the stairs, waiting for him to come down. And I was like, they didn't know who it was. So I said, hey, look towards the railing. We don't want to all look at him. Look towards the railing. It'll be the guy that picks up the rock. That's how you'll know it is. And so Jeff comes, picks up the rock, says his thing to Abigail, doesn't even pull out the ring yet. And some lady goes, can I take a picture of you two? I was like, oh my god, lady, really? Really? And so Jeff, like a champ, on not didn't lose a beat, ignored her.
He pulled out this massive box, though, that was like the size of both of his hands.
Did you see the ring, though?
Yeah, the ring was pretty good.
That's that chemical engineer money.
I don't know.
He paid for his bride. He loves her, so he got her a really nice ring, and that's awesome. And so we took his backpack and stuff so they could take pictures, and I sprinted after that lady, and then I was ready to go. Because she went the opposite way that I went, so I went the shorter way, and was ready to go back around, and then Jeff's brother was like, don't do it. He's like, ask Jeff. So I was like, Jeff. I looked him in the eye, and he knew I was serious about it. So he was like, you know what, it's fine. And I was like, okay, it's fine. So I walked away, calmed down.
The whole way down the hill, he's like, I hope I run into that lady.
The whole way down, I was like, I wanted to go after her so badly. You have no idea how badly I wanted to go after her. I was so ready to go after her.
I was pretty angry, too, but I was just like, I'm not going to get involved in this.
I was ready to go after her. Like, I was like...
Because I knew I told her not to pick up the rocks, and she did it anyway. And I was like...
They're not her property. Angry. We have the rest of the lights. I'd be like, those aren't yours. There's no way to prove... I'd be like, there are tons of witnesses who saw the rocks and saw me tell them not to pick up the rocks. At least give me the rocks. But I wouldn't want the candles, too, because that's the thing.
That's not even ours.
Yeah, it was not even
that was my mother.
It was just a whole thing. It was terrible. But anyway... So we're excited about their marriage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hopefully their marriage will be good because they work well together.
They do.
But that's just one of the things me and Taz got to do as a fun couple. We got to go out and have lunch together, and then
we sat by the beach side. I found a cool deformed shell. It was really awesome.
Yeah, we got to. It was a real nice day. We got to do something just the two of us, which is really nice. Like, it's still a very new experience, but every time it's really nice. Like, it's just not too much to worry about. Just us two. It
was so funny because while we were waiting for them, I was just like, oh, I'm so happy we don't have to do this anymore.
Yeah, Taz was so happy we don't have to do this more. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, dating and being fiancés. I was like, I didn't have that much of a bad experience with it.
I think it was just more like me trying to rely on you and other people at the same time, so it was just like confusing, and that awkward stage where you're just about to get married and you still needed a chaperone. So I was like,
yeah, it was not enjoyable.
No.
But I think it worked out. It'll work out between them and that.
Oh yeah, definitely. They work well. Very well.
Yeah. So normally we won't be rambling this much. We're trying to get people. So please tell your friends to listen to our podcast. We're trying to turn this into an advice podcast because it can be funny to get advice from people who don't know what they're doing.
We don't know what we're doing.
We
either.
really don't. So I'm talking about us. It's from us. We don't know what we're doing.
Oh yeah, we definitely don't know.
So they wouldn't give us advice. We'd give them advice.
Apparently I'm weird and he's psycho. So.
Whoa! Don't just throw titles around like that. Don't listen to her.
He's a psychopath.
Don't listen to her. So the email again is rbloodlinefilms
at gmail.com.
So even if you don't...
I keep thinking you forget, so that's why you stop. And I'm like, no, wait. He just wants me to finish.
No, I want people to be able to write it down and know what it is. It's the letter R. Bloodlinefilms at...
No spaces.
Yeah, no spaces. All together. Gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And the reason why, even if you don't have a question that we can discuss for other people. If you think there's something, if you want to tell us something that people commonly go through in the first year of marriage or something that they experience while getting married. So if you want to give us advice, send us an email. If you can say something. If you don't want your name on the podcast, just say, please don't say my name.
I'm anonymous.
Anonymous. Okay. Anonymous. Still, great email. You see that, Dane?
No.
So, make sure you send us something in. I guess at the time we're all shamelessly talk about my other podcast. I always say shameless like I'm supposed to feel shame. I do another podcast. Excited People Podcast. We're started a new format. Podcast. I know, I'm sorry.
You can't be shameless.
Okay, you're right. Never mind. Forget that. I'm not going to
just at least tell them the days that it goes on.
Okay, so this podcast is going to go up on every Tuesday. Mm. And Excited People Podcast will go up every Thursday. Mm. That's going to be the order of the podcast. And I do a YouTube video every Wednesday on Royal Bloodline Films on YouTube.com.
He's promoting himself.
You know what? I am promoting myself.
On his own podcast.
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about, like, before I was so concerned about what my job would be and all this stuff, and then I was thinking today, I was telling myself, like, I'm gonna work to get a better job so I can, provide for family, but I'm like, even if I don't get, like, a job in the career that I want, in the direction I want, I can always work towards that, and even when I get to just make the YouTube videos and make the podcast, it makes me happy to kind of do that, so I really enjoy this, guys. I'm doing it for the people, because I want people to enjoy it and make people laugh. But okay,
I'm happy he's doing it too, because he's really been wanting to do stuff like this for a very long time. So.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it too. How I was supposed to be making I tried twice to make a YouTube channel.
In your lifetime?
Yeah, twice. I was making my own videos on YouTube, just over a webcam, editing and doing stuff like that.
I think it took the right people to get you to get motivated to do it.
It did. It took the right inspiration and just get my life to a point where I was like, you know what? This is how you get this stuff done. You organize and you kind of get it done. It took the She Didn't Text Back podcast. They kind of just I was like, I don't want a podcast because then I get all this equipment. I won't be able to do it. So I listened to their podcast, and they're literally just two guys chilling, hanging out, talking to each other about different things. And I was
shout out to Ashley for giving motivation when he almost wanted to give up, and shamelessly to myself for being the greatest wife ever.
Give it up to the greatest wife ever one time. Woo! Even if you're at your desk, I want to hear a bunch of people go, woo!
Yeah.
So we're listening.
I'm talking
Ready?
to you, Mom.
Good job, guys. Good job. That was amazing. Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was so great.
It makes me feel nice.
Completely silent on the other side.
How? We don't know that. They don't know that.
Oh, I mean, it sounded great.
That sounded great.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
You go, Mom.
Don't talk about just your mom. You gotta talk about everyone.
Yeah, I know. But I'm sure my mom will be cheering the most.
I'm not gonna. I guarantee I won't hear her.
You heard it, Mom.
Yeah, I will. If I can hear you at work while I'm working, and we work close enough where you can go, woo! If I hear you, I will give you $1 million.
Take this as a challenge, Mom.
$1 million.
No, he won't. Because even if you do it, we won't be able to afford $1
No,
million.
she won't do it. I guarantee you she won't.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Now you're just challenging her. I hope you know
She
she's very
won't.
competitive.
I don't think she'll go, woo! Out loud, so that at least, who sits next to you? Jody and Gigi and Wanda can hear you. Those three people, if any of those three people can hear you, or any person in the mailroom, or who sits across from you. The temp sits across from you. What's the other girl's name?
What's her face?
Shamika. If any of those people can hear you.
What the heck?
That's her name, Shamika. If any of those people can hear you, Amy, I will give you $1 million.
No, he won't.
I will.
In paper money.
Forget Taz, I will give you $1 million.
I'll draw it for you.
Anyway, it looks like it's coming to the end of the excited people.
Nope.
Excited Marriage Podcast! Yay! Goodbye, guys. We'll see you next week. Send us any
Love you.
emails and any good wishes.
Yes. Mwah.